Have you ever been annoyed by someone who has the same type as you? Take a look at this meme I found on Reddit. My first reaction was, no way, this is impossible. Why would you be annoyed by your fellow whatever type? But a moment later, I was like, wait a second, that's projection. Of course, out of all meanings of the word projection, I mean this one. In case you don't know what it is, here's a definition. So if we take into account projection, it may very well be possible that you meet someone with the same type as you and they will irritate you in some way. And that's because this other person could mirror back some of your traits that you're either insecure about or don't want to acknowledge. So you're suppressing them. Let's take this comment by an INTJ user. Lol, the amount of times I've debated with an insufferable pseudo-intellectual online and he then whips out, as an INTJ I just think, and follows with more fake smart word salad. I think this is classical projection. For comparison, look at this cute comment by an INFP. This user seems to be so much more at peace with themselves. The INTJ, meanwhile, might be projecting their subconscious insecurity pertaining to their intellect than to other people. Which is not surprising, as INTJs are very much focused on intellectual pursuits. So this user is clearly triggered by behavior they perceive as pseudo-intellectual. By the way, you can easily recognize whether you are projecting if you take a closer look at the behavior that seems to be annoying you. You could ask yourself, is it annoying everyone or is it just me? If it's just you, then I'd recommend you take some time for introspection. Find a nice quiet place and think about you and your triggers. Maybe even write them down. That way you could shed some light onto your own blind spots. Because let's face it, to say as an INTJ I just think is not really a cringy thing to say. Objectively, it's alright. I don't see anything wrong with that statement. Of course, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Tell me what you think in the comments below. At the end of this video, I'm sharing possible things each type might be projecting onto other people of the same type. Anyway, hello and welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe if you're into personality types. It's been a while since my last video, 3 years to be precise. In this time, some of you have probably finished school, started a family, raised children, and are now proud grandparents. For me, a lot of stuff happened too, for example, new projects. Of course, what else? I'm an ENFP and I guess people hear the phrase new projects a lot from me in general. One of these projects happens to be a YouTube channel called Guided Daydreams, and this is what it looks like. Here's a preview of one of the videos.
Inside you, there are two wolves. One is tense and anxious. The other one is also tense and anxious.
I used an artificial voice and some stock imagery to create some sort of guided meditations. And people kept saying that the voice sounded like Morgan Freeman. It was more like an experiment with a new format. It's currently on pause because I think it wasn't the best idea to use artificial voice. There are so many great things you can do with AI, but voice is not one of them. Anyway, back to our meme and the concept of projection. So, I wrote this article some time ago. By the way, I'm writing on medium.com. Feel free to check it out. The link is in the description. And I'm thinking about this topic kind of often, especially when I see people overreact to something. One of my friends recently asked me why I'm so much into the concept of projection, and I said, well, it's everyone's blind spot. Basically, everyone projects something onto other people or situations. So it should be a very important topic when it comes to understanding others and yourself. Here are some examples of projection. So if an INTJ meets another INTJ, they might project a potential insecurity onto them. And this is the main explanation I have for this situation. Because usually if you're the same type, it's likely that you'll get along based on your shared values and preferences. And that's my default mode of thinking in this context. But then again, as an ENFP, I guess I might be assuming this because I'm more positive or open-minded than an average INTJ. If I think really hard, I might find things I'd be annoyed by that potentially occur in other ENFPs. For example, I tend to dislike people who change their mind every day. I used to work with someone who was also an ENFP, and they had all these new ideas every day. And in many cases, each new idea would make us change the trajectory of our project. Initially it was fun, but after some time I got very frustrated because in the long term nothing got accomplished. Now, whether that's projection, I don't know, because things have objectively not worked out, and instead of building a successful project, we were just jumping into new rabbit holes over and over again. But if this is projection, then it would have to do with several aspects. It could have been an insecurity about my own flexibility, giving me the feeling that I'm not as much of a go-with-the-flow person as I think I am. I might also be worried about the stability of my decisions subconsciously and fear that in reality that I'm just as fickle as the above-mentioned person. Now, as promised, here is a list of things that each type might project onto someone else who is the same type. Let me know if you can relate to this. And this is just a fraction of what can be projected. Of course, things are more complex than this, and I will likely cover this topic from another perspective in one of my next videos. I want to finish this video with this quote by Carl Jung. Whenever you're annoyed by something more than you should be, it's an indicator of your own hidden insecurities and issues, so identifying these situations could be very valuable for you as a person if you want to grow and evolve. Because working on your triggers is key to knowing yourself and other people. And knowing yourself will help you deal with pretty much everything, including making better decisions, understanding your motivations, and setting boundaries with other people. It will show you which areas need work, and because you're embracing the good and the bad parts of yourself, you will have more self-love and potentially less anxiety. Thanks for watching this video. All links are in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you're into MBTI, and please click the like button to let the algorithm know that this video is nice. I know you probably don't care about the algorithm, but I do, so do me a favor and slap that button. Hope to see you in one of my next videos. Have a great day, take care, and bye-bye.